Hey guys, Justin Bryant here from selfmadesuccess.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make money flipping Instagram accounts and get you off and running and on your way to doing that if that's something you want to do. The first thing you have to do is you want to get up to about 40,000 followers minimum and make sure your engagement is very high. So first off, the minimum amount that the safe companies that you would actually sell this to is about 40,000 followers, and we're going to be using viral accounts as the example because as of right now they're the most popular, they're the most secure and most legitimate account exchange platform out there, and you can submit your accounts for brands to buy starting at 40,000 followers. Okay, so that's the kind of minimum. You can make thousands and thousands of dollars from from one account, but you need to have at least 40,000 followers. Okay, I'll talk more about how to get those followers here in a minute. Second, you need to be able to sell with a legitimate, safe site. So first off, make sure that when you look at the top of your browser, if you're going to use a different site besides viral accounts, make sure it says secure. They're using an HTTPS domain, so they are protecting your information when you enter it in to sell your account or buy an account. So that's why I recommend viral accounts, just because as far as I know, they're the most highly trafficked, most popular and secure way of selling and buying accounts. So viralaccounts.com is where you can do that. You would go to, sell my, and then go down to Instagram account on there. As you can see, you can also sell Facebook fan pages, Google Plus pages, etc. So you know what place to do this at, you know where you're going to sell it, you know the minimum amount of followers you need to get. Really, if you get up to like 100,000, you can make really good money, and if you can get to 40,000, you can definitely get to 100,000 fairly quickly after. But you can now buy another account cheap or start from scratch. You can buy accounts, an Instagram account here at Viral Accounts. You can maybe do a transaction just between you and someone else, and some people do this, but it may be harder to find someone if you don't go through an exchange like this. But you need to at least figure this out. You probably want to just go ahead and start from scratch. That would probably be easier. Then pick a niche that is profitable with companies. So to find out if a niche is profitable with companies, you can go to Google. Okay, let's say you type in fitness. Okay, what you're looking for is that there's a lot of ads and stuff like that. Okay, so you type in, let's say, fitness products or something like that. So you can go through, you can look for and see if there are ads. You can see there's a bunch of ads in Google right here at the bottom right here in search results. I would use the Google keyword planner in many cases usually and look at the exact ad bid estimate for that, but you need to run an actual campaign. I know many people might not want to do that, so I'm trying to show you a free way to find out if companies might be interested in the niche you're doing. So what you want to do is you want to go through, whether you want to make a fitness account, whether you want to make some sort of thing that's related to business, related to art, whatever. Make sure that when you type in related keywords to those things, that there are ads and people are bidding on that type of stuff, and that they're probably at least 100 million results, because that will tell you that you have a better likelihood of a company being interested in the niche that your account is in. You want to at least know that you're in the right niche. You don't want to get a lot of followers and then nobody wants it, because you are trying to appeal to brands that can sell something. So something like fitness products, technology, stuff like that. That's the type of stuff that a lot of companies bid on, where there are products always for sale related to that. Also, you want to create a professional profile. So once you picked your niche, one thing you can do without having to go through and get a graphic designer and come up with all kinds of complicated stuff to create your profile, one thing you can do is just look up some clip art that is for the public domain and is free to use. So let's say you're going to do some sort of workout type thing. So you could do workout clip art in Google Images. And what you want to do too is go to Settings, Advanced Search. Not filtered by license is the default. You want to set that to free use, share, modify, even commercially, and then click Advanced Search. This will give you things that are typically not already being used as logos, and then you can use them as your logo for your Instagram account. They're already pretty professional looking. You don't have to worry about designing your own stuff. So you could look at, somebody running, you could do somebody weightlifting, just depends on the niche you're going to do. But you would do your keyword, then clip art, then labeled for reuse with modification in the advanced search of Google, and that will give you logos that you can do. Now, as far as actual descriptions and bios and stuff like that, I would recommend you just look at your, let's say, you're going to be similar to what Elon Musk does. He just, of course, he does something very simple. Let's say you're going to do like a entrepreneurship style account. You could look at like Founder Magazine. They do something like, kind of a little thing about them. Then they have a website. So you would just look at your different competition in the search bar here on Instagram.com. You can actually do this on your computer too. It doesn't have to all be done on your phone. And that will give you some ideas for writing a bio. You probably don't have to worry about a website just yet because you're really just making this to sell it. Next, you want to post 1 to 2 posts per day. So you don't want to post too much on Instagram because this social media platform specifically has a pretty long shelf life for a post. So like for instance, if you were posting on Twitter, your shelf life is very quick. So after an hour or two goes by, you're probably not going to get much more engagement on whatever you tweeted. So that's why a lot of brands can tweet every hour, every 30 minutes on Twitter, but on Instagram it's more like Facebook. You post 1 or 2 times per day and it kind of goes through its cycle throughout the day. So you'll notice that if you go to all kinds of brands, they usually post maybe once or twice per day. More than that is getting kind of excessive. So go through different ones. Let's say you go to like a professional athlete. Say you go to Tom Brady, how often does he post? How often do these other people post? Just look at those types of things, but post 1 to 2 posts per day. Also, when it comes to the times to post during off work hours. That's the best time. In fact, there is a study done by 20 different marketing companies trying to figure out the best times to post on social media. So there's a company called CoSchedule that combined those studies into the average of all of them. And so they came up with Monday and Thursday being the best days for engagement on Instagram. The best times to post were during off work hours. So some of them would be like 2 a.m., which you wouldn't do on most social media platforms, but apparently it works on Instagram. 8 to 9 a.m. That's probably the prime time to post on Instagram before people go to work and school. 5 p.m. is something, when people are getting off work and school. Typically from 9 p.m. to about 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. is about the best time to post on Instagram when people are not at work. Okay, so do that. Post at the right times to boost your engagement, because engagement is very important on whether you can sell your account. Next, you want to post things that people really like on Instagram that are actually proven. Now, you want to go through and study your competition. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But A few suggestions that work very well: quotes, all kinds of quotes. I showed you Founder Magazine earlier. They basically built their entire Instagram brand on quotes. You'll notice that their quotes tend to have a lot higher engagement than their other stuff. Another thing you can do is scenery. You'll notice that, like, let's say you look at GoPro. They have a lot of scenery, people doing cool stuff, and they get ridiculous amounts of engagement on Instagram, so you can learn from that. You may even get fans to put some of their photos and submit them and then post them on there like they do with GoPro. Funny images, stuff like that. Behind the scenes, except behind the scenes probably won't matter much when you're just selling the account. But just go for stuff that's kind of general that really sells very well. Stuff that's kind of weird, that's cool, that maybe you found on other social media sites and stuff like that. But you want to definitely look at what your competition is doing and get ideas. Also study what they're doing in your niche as far as, you know, maybe a website, maybe their bio, what their logo is like, what their you know, post frequency is, what times they post. You can study all of those things about the brands you're competing with. You know, if you were to look at, let's say you typed in fitness and you were looking at you know, motivation for fitness and stuff like that, you could see how often they post and stuff like that as well, and that will give you some other ideas. Post a question to start your description. So when you're looking at the description of a post, let's say you know, let's say you're looking at pretty much anybody on Instagram. Let's go back to, say, GoPro or something. I don't know how many brands actually do this, but like if you were just posting a video of somebody doing something really cool or something, you want your description right here to start out with a question, because that drives engagement, that makes people more likely to comment. You don't want to just get likes, you want to get a lot of comments as well. So then you can add hashtags and stuff like that, which I'll talk more about in a minute. But the first thing you do here, ask a question that would drive engagement. Also, use popular and trending hashtags. To do this, you can go to hashtags.org and look at the different hashtags that are very popular right now for Twitter, for Instagram, and stuff like that. There are other hashtag websites out there you could look up, but you know, hashtags.org is one of the ones that you could look at in terms of you know, different hashtags that are working. Usually a lot of times hashtags will be popular on 2 or 3 different social media platforms at the same time. You can also create your own hashtags to kind of build your own following that way. And then for actually driving traffic to the post, once you know what to post, what hashtags to use, what to do for the descriptions, how often, when to post, all that type of stuff, you need to drive traffic to the post when you're starting out to build your following. Empire.cred is a good free way to do this. What you do is you basically share people's stuff. This is at empire.cred, that's the website. You share people's stuff and you can invest credits, which you do not pay for. It's just like fake money basically, in people who use social media, and then you earn enough points you can get people to go to a social media post, like an Instagram post, and then they of course decide what to do once they get there. But usually they will comment, like, share, something like that, and they in exchange get however many points you pay them for visiting that post. So that's a way to get free visits to your Instagram posts, which can be difficult when you're starting out because you're sharing people's stuff and then they're sharing your stuff. You're basically exchanging shares on social media, WordPress, YouTube, etc. So that's empire.cred for that. And of course, a lot of brands, what they will do is use ads. Now obviously this will make your margins smaller. as far as your profit, but you know, sometimes you have to use some ads to get off to a faster start and get your first few thousand followers so that they can start, you know, building some momentum through that. But you can do that at business.instagram.com/advertising to start running ads. Create an account for that and actually pay to boost your content on Instagram. And you also want to boost your best stuff, of course, and you want to have at least 9 images or videos or just posts in general, because then it'll fill up the other post section of your profile. So have at least 9 before you do any ads, and do ads to your best photos that get the most engagement or your best videos that get the most engagement. All right, so that's kind of how you can get started with this. Obviously you can do some more of your own research, but it really depends on your niche. It depends on those things, but I've showed you where to sell it, where you can get accounts, where you can, you know, get started finding a logo, finding your description ideas, where to post, when to post, what times to post, you know, hashtags to use, description ideas, and then 2 different places, Empire.cred and Instagram ads, to actually promote the post. So that pretty much covers all of what you're going to have to do. You're just going to have to get experience now doing it. So if you thought this video was helpful, please like and subscribe so I can create more videos like this for you. Also, if you want to let me know what you thought about the video, if you thought it was helpful, or if there's something you want to suggest I cover in the future, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I know others watching would as well. And I'll also get the links that I mentioned, the tools I used, and all that stuff on the show notes page at selfmadesuccess.com. I'll also get a link in the description to that page for you as well. So other than that, I hope the video was educational for you, and I hope you have a great day.